Let's bring in the independent Senator Jacqui Lambie now for her thoughts. Jacqui, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. So what's your take on Fadden?
Oh, I think, it's a blue ribbon seat. I wouldn't read too much into it. We're not looking at a 20% swing here, Pete. So what I do know, I don't know what the voter turnout was like, but what I do know is that people are really, at the moment, really feeling the crunch right across the board. And that, I think most people realise that just hasn't grown in 12 months. This has been going on for years. We've had a housing crisis that's now hit peak. Our health system, public health system right around Australia leaves a lot left to be questioned. Our fuel prices have been going up, energy prices have been going up, and, both those parties have been in power. So I just I laugh at those sort of polls.
Right, so you don't really think it's a repudiation of what the government has done so far when it comes to cost of living?
I don't think most people out there right now could have given a stuff about an election on Saturday, to be honest. They're too busy trying to feed their children, put a roof over their heads. They're doing it tough. I think, they've probably got their hands tied in other places, just trying to keep a roof above their head, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that the opposition, they probably should have won Aston, and they will be relieved, no doubt, to have picked up Fadden, because if they hadn't have won Fadden, then they'd be in all sorts of trouble.
Oh, I think they'd certainly be in all sorts of trouble. But like I said, you're looking at a 2%, not 20%.
Right.
Like I said, I think many other people out there have got a lot of other things on their plate right now, trying to pay their bills.
Just looking at Newspoll as well this morning, Jacqui, it shows a drop in support not just for the government, but the opposition has come down as well, with an increase in support for the Greens, One Nation too. What are your thoughts on those numbers?
I think, I'm not sure things are going to get too much better over the next 12 to 18 months for many people out there. So I guess it's prime time if you want to have a run in politics and, be part of that a balance of power, and you want to be an independent probably over the next year or two. You may want to have a think about that, because it might be right for the picking if you think you can do a better job than what those majors do up there.
So do you think that there will be more of a drift to independents and teals, etc.?
I think as long as the independents that are up there, they continue to perform. The teals, obviously, they continue to perform as well. You've got David Pocock out there, straight off the starter block, performing really well. And I think if they continue to do that, then I think that helps to encourage other people to have a shot, Pete, and have a shot at it. The only thing that stops them is this, mate. It is a lot of money to have a run.
Don't have the backing.
Yeah, and backing.
So
and if you do have a backing, mate, then for a big donor, you're probably going to owe them something.
So that's why you need a Holmes a court or someone of that stature and nature.
It's either that, mate, or you need to go out in those reality TV shows, but I wouldn't suggest you do that.
Right.
They're probably not good for your side.
Right, what about the Jacqui Lambie network?
Oh, we'll just keep puffing along out there, mate. I'm grabbing everything I can. Obviously, we use a lot of TV. We've got some things coming up. It's a little bit outside the norm of politics over the next 12 months. So, we try and use all that to our advantage. I'm out there all the time, speaking, doing that sort of thing. We can't do that because we just don't take the big bucks from unions and big business. Yeah. And that way nobody can be corrupted.
One more on Newspoll, Jacqui. The voice numbers are again interesting. Now it looks like women are increasing the no vote, and the regions up at 60% now when you're talking about the no vote. I mean, on those numbers, this thing's a goner.
Yeah, it is really, really worrying, because on those numbers it is a goner. And I just wonder, if it keeps sinking like that, I don't see it returning. I just do not see it coming back. And that I think is going to be extremely harmful. I want to know, what is their plan B if this does not get up? Because I think, it's going to get more racist as we're going along. It's going to get more vile as we're going along as well. They better come up with a backup plan, I think, and they better start moving on that, just in case.
I think another part of it too, Jacqui, is that people are focused on other issues. It's not just cost of living, but crime. Crime is something, particularly youth crime, is something that we've done a lot of in the last few weeks and months. Youth crime increasing in Brisbane. It's increasing in Melbourne, as we've seen in recent weeks as well. Are both governments weak on this?
I think they have. I think they are. And I think they have been for many, many years. I wouldn't say I'm lucky, but obviously I had issues with my youngest son and watched him for 7 or 8 years and gained a little rap sheet. And I can tell you, Pete, there's some really small moves you can make up there. You can have children's magistrates that see these kids all the time, so they're not like a revolving door, so they understand their circumstances. We can have those boot camps out there, and if anyone's not sure what I'm talking about, please go to the website of Veteran Mentors and have a good look at it. And they follow those kids through for the next 2 years. They have an 85% success rate of turning those kids' lives around. You know, what that saves in detention and those kids ending up in adult jails is absolutely phenomenal, mate. And you know what? I asked the states to go back to the old community policing style, where we had some police that were in public housing, where they were dealing with the kids, where they knew them. Because I have watched, I've watched this happen in Burnie over a 10-year period and drop that crime rate by 78%, mate. As soon as the states have money they can't spend, those bottom line policing officers are let go of.
Sorry,
just really simple moves.
So what was the key there? What was the key there on that central move in Tassie?
So the key on the public housing move, we used to, at one stage, we used to put police presence in those public housing, so they lived there, and that made a significant amount in those lower economic social areas. And it did make a significant difference, mate. And those police got to know them. They got to respect and trust police. So there's 4 or 5 little moves there that we can make and really get moving. I'm really worried about this. It is getting worse. It's not going to get better until we start tackling these.
Yeah.
The main thing is avoid detention at all costs. Because by the time they get there, mate, we've lost them. We've pretty much lost them. And it costs a fortune. So chuck some things out there. It'll be a much cheaper way, early intervention.
The problem in Queensland, though, the number of police officers and the cops are doing a wonderful job of doing the best they can anyway, but the numbers are on the way down. The numbers are dropping, which is a huge issue. Robbie Katter was on the program last week and said they should be shipped off to the farms.
Look, if you can get them out there to the farms, boot camps, farms, as long as, they're working out there, they're not causing any drama, whatever it takes. Some kids are just not adapting to school, So, I mean, we have these other little schools out there too that deal with these kids. Massive success rate here in Tasmania. They've been down here for 4 years. Kids that weren't going to school and now going back into these schools. The answers are there, mate.